almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this status centralized system.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to Flashpoint Radio. Thank you for joining me. I am your host, Jay-Z. It is Sunday, March 18th. I am coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri, the site of some pretty contentious Missouri GOP primary caucuses yesterday. Some exciting things happened at a bunch of different places. St. Charles County, mainly the news media, mainstream and alternative news media was rife with stories about the St. Louis area and Missouri caucuses yesterday and today. Before we get into that, I'd like to thank you all for joining me and remind you that I'm on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio, and I'd like you to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/FlashpointRadio. Give me some feedback. Keep me informed if you have any breaking news items or videos that you'd like and you think need to be shown to the world. Give them to me. I will post them on my site or on my show. We are going to get right into the news of yesterday right now, though. First, we're going to show you your host, Jay-Z, was mentioned and quoted in two news articles in the last week. Last Sunday, Jake Wagman wrote up an article, Missouri's GOP caucuses are coming, ready or not. And he interviewed me at the Ron Paul headquarters about the fact that some people feel that we would be taking over the caucuses, and I said, take over? You can't take over somewhere when you were doing it by the book or by the rules. That is a harbinger to what happened yesterday. The second story, links all below of all the stories, comes to us from the LA Times. I was in the LA Times. Mass hysteria in Missouri as Republicans caucus on presidential race, which, if you look at this picture right here, that story was top linked on the Drudge Report. So your host Jay-Z got on the Drudge Report. Not in the way I probably would have liked to, but nevertheless it happened. I was quoted as saying, quote, "It's gonna be a bloodbath," says Jay Zwirstich, 32, a fuzzy, blonde-bearded, bespectacled Ron Paul fan. He was interviewing me at the Chesterfield Township Caucus, where the events were quite interesting. I had never been to a caucus, and it was a learning experience. I had a good time. The Ron Paul supporters decided to partner with the Romney camp in order to gain any delegates, because we knew we did not have a majority to take all of the delegates. So we decided to team up against the Rick Santorum people because they were willing to play ball. Jim Talent spoke for 2 minutes for the Mitt Romney slate of delegates, and the township committee woman, Judy Hahn, took the microphone after to speak for the Rick Santorum slate. And this comes to us from USA Today, Contention, Confusion, Mar, Missouri Caucuses. And she decried Paul as not being pro-life and suggested he had been endorsed by the Muslim Brotherhood. So, in a caucus full of middle-aged to elderly white people, who I have no problem with that. That's just who they were. That is the demographic that was there. The people that wanted to destroy Ron Paul's chances and wanted to negatively affect him decided to appeal to their fear of brown people by bringing up the Muslim Brotherhood and somehow making some ridiculous connection between the Muslim Brotherhood and Ron Paul. And to say he's not pro-life. He's an OBGYN licensed who's delivered over 4,000 babies. Really? I'd say he's probably been in touch with bringing life into this world more than any of the candidates of any presidential race ever. Maybe. I don't know. Moving right along, this comes to us from Infowars.com. Disruption closes a Missouri caucus before vote after huge Ron Paul turnout. The New York Times wrote up about this. Jake Wagman, again, wrote a story in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch as well. And Eugene Dokes, chairman of the St. Charles County Republican Committee, said, quote, "People attended the meeting with an agenda. When that happens, it's really hard to accept the authority of the room." The agenda was that of the St. Charles County GOP. They had already decided if the Ron Paul people, Ron Paul supporters, showed up in good enough numbers that they would just destroy the whole caucus. We're going to go to a video right here where Eugene Dokes decided to not listen to the Ron Paul people and decide to go outside of Robert's Rules of Order and break those rules and try to appoint his own chair of the caucus, which he knew would cause an uproar after they banned videotape. So, you know, you can say ban video cameras, but come on, this is 2012. How stupid are you to think that you can possibly ban everyone in a room full of 1,200 people from videotaping? So let's go to this tape right here of you.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it.
As you can see, he went in and took a yay or nay vote for the chair, and I've heard from personal people that were there, not sitting here, you know, from all over, multiple reports, the nays overwhelmingly had it. He called it the other way, and he knew that it would cause an uproar, and so the Ron Paul people started to chant the rules of Robert's Rules of Order. They yelled for division, which calls for a standing count, an actual head count of votes. They called for point of order, which means they are to be allowed to have their voices heard. And when they started to do that, they decided, here we go to this video.
The police are ready to shut us down.
His name, but you just heard it. The police will shut us down and we will lose all our delegates, which is what they did. They lost all of their delegates so far. I'm sure they're going to strike a deal to give Romney and Santorum a certain percentage without giving any to Ron Paul. They decided to have the caucus shut down. Well, how do you shut down a caucus with 1,200 people when they're just, you know, they're upstanding citizens who care about the democratic process? Well, let's go to this video from my brother-in-law right here.
All right, we're at the St. Charles County Caucus. We've got police helicopters, about 60 cop cars. We've got highway patrol, St. Charles County, St. Peters, St. Charles City. Got everybody. They shut the caucus down and said no votes are going to count. So just let's see what's going on here. Look at this. All law enforcement vehicles. About 1,000 people standing in the parking lot. Francis all north. No votes counted. They shut the caucus down. Alright, leaving the St. Charles County Caucus. Shutting the lights down. What do you think of that, honey?
Well, that was interesting.
No votes counted. No delegates elected.
As you can see, they had police helicopters and 4 different police agencies from St. Charles County hovering around the crowd. It took, his estimate, as you heard, was 60 cop cars, 60 police vehicles. Give me a break. Give me a break. How afraid are you of Ron Paul and the truth? Obviously, very, very much so. Other headlines to check out, links below. Bob McCarty, St. Patrick's Day Massacre, which it is being dubbed, takes place during GOP presidential caucus in St. Charles, Missouri. This comes to us from StL, CBS St. Louis. Party Central Committee member reacts to St. Charles caucus chaos. And, of course, this Joe Bennett said at the end of this article, Joe Bennett says, after seeing what happened Saturday, he's fine if they don't send any delegates to the congressional district caucuses in April. So there you go. There you go. People, citizens of this country, if you support Ron Paul, your leaders, your rulers, your rule makers will not honor your wishes. And they will not send any representatives, because if they can't have their way, then nobody has their way. This is the America we live in. This is the tyranny we live under. But a little bit of good news. He came out of Greene County, and he picked up delegates in almost every other caucus in Missouri, in all of the townships, all of the counties across the way, and he did great. Ron Paul did wonderful. We won yesterday. Not only did we win delegates in a big way, we also allowed the deceivers to show themselves, and by letting them show their dirty tricks, we have brought them to the light, and the darkness will always perish because of the light, because the light shines into the darkness. The darkness can never engulf the light. So watch the videos again. There's plenty of video of it. Check the links below. But hey, this is a good sign. We have won. We are winning. They are showing their hand, and they are self-destructing. They are short-circuiting like the tyrannical matrix that controls our life would if God didn't want it to survive, which he doesn't, because it's evil and God is on our side. So thank you for watching Flashpoint Radio. I'm your host, Jay-Z. Remember, click subscribe above to stay up to date. Like it and reshare with your friends if you think the information is pertinent and you know of anyone that might be able to benefit from it. Check me back periodically. Hopefully I'll have a new report in the next 2 days. But I'm signing off saying God bless and keep your eyes to the sky.
Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. No